Welcome back to Cozy Womb Podcast. My name is Shan. I am the mama of the girls. This is season 16. This whole season I'm focusing on dads who want to get back into their child's life, or if they haven't had a chance to be in their child's life, how to get into that. This is episode 4, Don't Start Mending and Give Up. Self-explanatory, okay? Nobody likes to start and not finish anything. Do not disappoint a child by not being there first and then showing up and giving them an illusion that you will be there, that you will be consistent, that you're ready, that you're open. And then break that bond, break that trust, and break that faith by not keeping your word, by not being consistent, by disappearing because it got too hard, by letting go because it's just too much, or you have a fear within yourself that you won't be good at it. Okay? It makes your child suffer longer if you start and stop, if you come in and you don't, if you get back in good graces and then you drop the ball and you do what people expect you to do as far as failing. Don't do it. And that's what this episode is about. It's Friday. I hope you're in good graces. I hope you had a great week. Let's get talking. Let's get talking. Imagine not being around when you were needed as a father from the beginning, when you had the space to be, when you had the time to be, when you had the option to be, and for whatever reason you weren't, right? And then your child gets to their 5th birthday, and that mother has been planning this birthday for weeks, for months, getting all the gifts, the decorations, making sure she paid for the cake, making sure she paid for the event space, making sure, she flew family in, right? And all the guests that were invited came. And then there's a knock at the door. There's a doorbell ring. And it's you. You knew where your child lived this whole time. You knew what numbers to call for these 5 years. And you never called, and you never came, and you never showed up, and you never helped, and you never offered your assistance. But you showed up on the 5th birthday with a gift in hand, sometimes not even that. And you want to come in. And you want to say hi, and you want to meet your kid. That is audacity. That is ego. That is the pride of many. When you don't have the room to have that pride, if you had the option all that time. Now, there is a way to go about being in your child's life and meeting your child the right way, and not, barging in on someone's mood, barging in on someone's happiness, barging in on someone's work. Because raising a kid and having a kid and taking care of a kid and teaching a kid and building a kid's confidence, especially when the relationship is lopsided, because you shouldn't, as a mother, have to do all the work. You shouldn't
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Catch those springtime vibes all over Arizona. Break out of the winter blues by hitting the water at one of our lake and river parks. Take a hike among the wildflowers. Just make sure to stay on the trails and leave the flowers for the bees. Discover Arizona's best-kept secret and visit azstateparks.com/amazing to start your springtime adventure.
Grandparents have to then be a parent to your grandchild. But because one parent may have felt like they had an option to not be ready for 5 years for a child, but they knew the child was here, felt like, I have a right to show up. I have a right to be here. I have a right to see my kid. It's not fair. It's not fair to the mom. It's not fair to the grandparents. It's not fair to the family. And it's not fair to that child. Because that child on their birthday should be focused on happy emotions, good feels, not question marks. Not, oh my God, I've been angry all this time and I see this person and I want to run and hug this person, but I don't know this person. Okay? So when it comes to children, you have to think from a child's perspective. You have to think from another parent's perspective of how much work and struggle they may have gone through to get their child to how their child looks, feels, and is without you. And you get the option of randomly popping up whenever you feel like it's convenient. Okay? Another perspective. Let's look at this from a father that didn't know they had a kid. And then they found out they had a kid. And they just want to see their child. They want to meet their child. Then they don't have the best relationship with that child's mother. They don't have the best relationship with that child's other side of the family who's been taking care of this child, but they didn't know. I feel like the best way to initiate that is through legal terms. Figure out who has your child. Figure out what their first and last name is. Legally, go to court. See, how do you start the process? Did they send a letter? How long do you have to wait till it's received for a response? What is a response? Is a response yes? Whatever we need to do for the next step for y'all to meet and this to be a consistent thing, let's do it. Is it met with resistance? Are they like, no, I'm not responding to this and I've got multiple letters? Are they like, no, they're not on the birth certificate, so I feel like they shouldn't have a say, but biologically you know for sure that this is your child? And then you have to go about it the long route. Some mothers and other people's families are welcoming for that father to be in that child's life, and some aren't. For me, I will say that I am welcoming of my child's first father being in her life. What I'm not for is the starting and stopping. I'm not for you showing up because your friend was having an event here in Atlanta and you want to go to that event and then you want to give 2 hours to your kid that you never see all year. I'm not for that. I would rather you come down here, handle your business, and you not give her 2 seconds of your time. Because that's not fair. That's not right. Okay? When a child is already feeling like they don't matter, when a child is already feeling like, where's my dad? Why doesn't he call? Why doesn't he show up? Why doesn't he do this for me? Why can't I call him? Why haven't he called you to reach out? Why haven't he showed up? Why doesn't he care? Why is he not here? Random pop-ups that are not planned, that aren't for a few days or a whole day where you're involved in your child's life is not fair. It's not healthy. And I just want him to understand that I would rather you not acid, because that's what it is, than to have acid. And I have to sit here and answer questions of why you don't follow through, why you don't show up, why she can't do this. why I don't know where you are, why she can't reach you on the number that you last FaceTime her on. Like, how do you as a man physically live somewhere and you have all your limbs, your brain works, you're able, you have other children, and you purposely don't reach out, and you purposely don't show up, and you feel like it's optional for you to know if your child is okay. It's optional for you to know that your child may or may not need something. It's optional for you to know if my child's other parent is equipped enough to help her and provide for her this week or this month or this year. I don't know, but I'm leaving it up in the air because I got something to do. That's audacity. And a lot of fathers have audacity in that sense. I don't know what it's like to wake up in the morning and not know if my child ate, if my child is okay, if my child has what they need, if my child logged into school on time, if my child has the supplies she needs for school. I don't know what it's like to not know my children's well-being. I don't know what it's like to not know where my child's social security card is, her birth certificate, to make sure she's showing up where she needs to show up, to make sure she's mentally okay. I don't know what it's like to not know that my child is happy. I don't know what it's like to not take care of my child if she's sick. But some dads, some fathers feel like they have the option on knowing that. Feel like they have the option on showing up. So when you're not around, for whatever reason you're not around, and it was in your control, and you pop up on your child's mother or your child's other family that's been taking care of your child and struggling to do so, and you're happy and you're ready and they're not welcoming, all of that is why they are not welcoming. All of that is the buildup for that frustration. All of that is in the tone on how they talk to you. You have to be realistic about why people are angry. You have to be realistic about why people don't receive you the right way. You have to be realistic about why your approach is taken in a negative manner. It's not a surprise. It shouldn't be a surprise. It should be an expectation that you have because you haven't been pulling your weight. You haven't been helping out. The reality is nothing when it comes to taking care of a child is more so a mom's job over a dad's job. A father should equally know who their child's pediatrician is, know their child's medical history, know what their child's social security number is, know where their child's birth certificate is, know if their child went to their dentist appointment this year, know where their child goes to school, know who their child's teacher is, know how to properly bathe their child, know how to properly do their hair, know how to properly dress their child, know how to talk to their child, know what their child likes to eat and cannot eat. All of these things, both parents should be able to know. So that's why it's very important that you don't just pop up in your child's life and then disappear. Don't start mending and fixing a problem and put the tools down and walk away. It's not right. Your children are not things, they are people. They have feelings, and there's a lot of adults walking around here with feelings and feeling halfway put together and feeling the half-ass relationships that they've gotten to have with their parent as a child, and they're trying to have full 100% relationships today. And they can't have it because they don't know how to have it because they feel lopsided. So I say this to say it's not a child needs their mother more than they need their father, or a child needs their father more than they need their mother. They need both. They deserve both. And if both parents are happy and healthy and able and intelligent, why aren't they both coming together to make sure that your child has a great life, to make sure that your child has the maximum opportunities to be their greatest? Moms, if that dad is honestly doing things the right way and wanting to show up the right way, if you're dealing with the fear of him dropping the ball, that's understandable. But don't let him do all the work and put in all the effort and be consistent and not open that door to let that relationship happen for your child. You're holding your child back. A lot of children suffer academically because they feel lopsided in the relationships they don't have with their fathers. A lot of children are socially awkward because they feel lopsided in a relationship they don't have with their fathers. A lot of children's confidence is halfway full because they do not feel like they have the confidence and the power and the ability because a relationship with their fathers is lopsided. So for me, I don't shut the door on any of my children having a great relationship with their fathers because I know it's going to make them a better person. What I do get frustrated with is the fact that my oldest daughter's dad does this. He pops up. My daddy's tip this episode is to not reach out if you're not ready. Don't show up if you're not 100% about being there consistently. Don't randomly call in the middle of the night after 9 o'clock when you have a child that goes to grade school, middle school, high school. It's not fair. Don't randomly pop up on the birthday with whatever gift you feel like you should be able to give and demand to be able to show up at the party. Don't pop up on Christmas randomly and not say anything and don't call first. Don't randomly call that child's other parent that has been consistently doing the work and showing up and expect them to be happy about your call. Be happy about the fact that you got them some nice sneakers this one time. It's unfair. It's egotistical to feel like when you're ready, everybody should drop everything and be ready to receive you. And so if you're truly ready to be in your child's life how they need you, and to be a great co-parent how you should have been already, do it the right way. And the right way is by providing a space for a response, not demanding one. Now let's get back to the show. Thank you for listening and supporting the Cozy Womb podcast. If you're interested in merch, you can check out the Cozy Womb shop with Teespring. There's merch on there for dads, moms, kids, and whoever wants to support the Cozy Womb podcast. Also for moms, there's Mama's Cozy Closet with Teespring also, which is just like mom gear. And if you're a podcaster or a content creator and you're interested in a guide, you can check out lulu.com. 2 of my books is on there. The Podcast Journal and Marketing the Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Here we go.
Back to the show. He starts mending stuff. We get on a good level. It gets a little bit consistent. If she needs something, sometimes I can reach out and he'll say okay. And I'll ask him, can you get her some shoes? Get her a size 4 and get her a 4.5. Now you think, why are you asking for 2 different sizes? I'm asking for 2 different sizes because
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit a million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Expect the unexpected. I expect the hot and coldness. I expect the consistency and the not being consistent. I'm preparing for the fact that at this moment, you're prepared, you're ready, and you're going to do it. But I'm expecting for when you drop the ball and I don't hear for you for like 6 months or 8 months or 9 months or a year. And the reality is, my oldest daughter's dad hasn't sent anything for her since last May, hasn't called her for her last birthday or seen her, hasn't called or said anything for Christmas. Nothing was sent from him for Christmas. He's never gotten her a Christmas present, to be honest, and she's 8. She'll be 9 this year. He's only shown up for one birthday in her life thus far, and their birthday is 3 days apart. And every time, they've gotten together has been because I opened the door and because I provided the space. She has never been to his home. I don't even know if he has a home currently. She has never seen his side of the family. She has never met his mom in person. I think they talk once or twice on FaceTime or on the phone. He has never taken her for a weekend anywhere because I have never gotten the space to trust how he parent or to see him balance parenting in a healthy way without me. And I want her to have those things, but he hasn't given me any type of consistency and an example to show me that he's capable of those things. Now, you would think, well, maybe it's because, he's never been a dad and this is his first kid. This man has 3 kids. 3 kids. And can't show up fully for any of them. And when it comes to fathers, we have to own the reasons and the treatment and the attitudes that other parents have about you because of the lack and the slack that has been shown. And I'm saying this to say, I feel like I've provided the space for this man to be who he needs to be, the time for this man to be who he needs to be, and the patience it takes me to allow this man repeatedly to come visit in the city where his child lives. And you don't have to worry about a ride from the airport. I'll come get you. You don't have to worry about getting your whole hotel room and getting a ride to and from my house. I'll come get you. All you have to do is to be open and facilitate your time with your child while you're here for 3 days, because I can't do more than 3 days because it's a lot for me. I have a guest room. Your child has her own room. There's a big backyard. There's a big front yard. and I offer myself, and I feel like I've offered myself and my space enough time and enough chances for him to stand up on his own too and facilitate being a father for that little bit of time that I give you. And the last time that he came was like the last straw for me, because he was here in my home. I picked him up, and he sat in the room that he was in with his daughter in our home, in a different room, and sat on the phone and talked loud to his friends or whoever he wanted to talk to most of the time. He cooked a couple of times, was on the phone, on Instagram, in another world. But you're not sharing this time with your child. If I didn't see my child more than a year or 6 months or 4 months, and I'm in the home that she lives in, I'm going to be in my child's room. I'm going to be playing with her. I'm going to be in the backyard. I want to go places and hang with her. I want to take her out to eat. I want to get to know her. I want to see what I miss. I want to see the work that she's done. Like, there's so much that I want to see. And some fathers don't care for those things. They don't care to know. And as your child gets older, they're going to see that you don't care to know. And I'm telling you this to say that you cannot come into a child's life where you've shown them repeatedly through your lack of that you don't care and try to discipline them and try to get them on a straight and narrow, because they're not going to respect it and they're not going to receive it. Because who you have had the spaces to become, you did not. And when you should have showed up in those spaces and been the disciplinarian that you should have been for that child, you were not. So I'm telling you, as a father to your kid, as a parent, do not start mending and give up. Do not pop up and not stay up. Do not show up in your child's life and not be consistent. And I'm not just talking about providing money. I'm talking about providing your time, providing your patience, providing understanding, being able to discipline, being able to guide, being able to be reached out to, being able to check in, being able to show up, being able to have your child for a weekend, just so that mom can get a break, or their grandparents can get a break, or their aunts can get a break. Because the reality is, no grandparent should be having to raise their grandchild. No auntie should be having to raise their niece or their nephew. No uncle should be having to take up the space for where a living, breathing, available, able parent is not. It's lopsided. It causes a strain. It's hard for people to be happy that you're doing the things you should have already been doing. And so if you're a father and you're feeling any type of animosity from the other parent or the other family members, is it because you were able and you did not show up and they're having a hard time forgiving that because they're struggling with trusting that you are going to stick around? That is a question that you need to ask yourself honestly and purposely. Is it because they gave you ample chances in the past to share this space and have this space with your child and you dropped the ball? Question mark. Is it because you haven't been doing your personal work and they're trying to be able to be in a space to catch your child when you drop the ball? Be honest. If you have the space to create the relationship with your child that your child deserves, and you've dropped the ball in the past or multiple times, do not be surprised that you are not well received. And I say this to say, if you are a father out here, please do not reach out and do not pop up and do not show up if you are not 100% to be ready. Do not get a lawyer and have them start this case if you are not financially available and able to take off time to show up to these court hearings. It is not cheap. Do not ask for mediation if you're going to go in there and you're going to bring your ego and your pride first and not your reality of what you've been doing and what you haven't been doing and how you haven't been showing up. Be fair, be understanding, and be open that you disappoint your child every time you pop up and don't show up. Or you pop up and you show up and you disappear. Provide a healthy space. Start creating a healthy bond and stick to it. That's why it's very important, if you need to go to therapy first, to do your therapy first. If you need to get some insight from another dad, to get that insight. If you need someone to motivate you, to keep you on track, with you being a father and doing it the right way, do that. But by no means come into your child's life halfway and dip off. Because you can cause your child to have halfway relationships for the rest of their life because they always prepared for somebody to dip off. All right? My name is Shan. This is Cozy Womb Podcast. I'm trying to be honest with y'all this season. I'm trying to be real with y'all this season. I want more fathers in these kids' lives so people can have better relationships in the future. So we can have better teachers in the future. So we can have better politicians in the future. So we can have better leaders in the future. So we can have mothers who are happy to be mothers in the future. Because a lot of moms are scared to be moms today because they don't know if they're going to have the support from a father. They don't. There are some fathers that are out here that are great fathers, and they have horrible relationships with other adults because they don't know how to have one. Okay? Thank you for listening to Cozy Womb.